Hello, today I'll be talking about the most hated asshole class there is, the soldier. This joke is shit. The only class that I'm going to talk about in this video is Sniper. Now let's cut right to the chase. Sniper has 7 primaries, 6 secondaries and 4 melee weapons, not counting the fancy schmancy promo reskins. Now, this is the first and only time I'm going to quote the wiki and be analytical, mainly because when you play Team Fortress 2, you not only have to think but you have to get into the rhythm accompanying the game. The rhythm changes drastically depending on your playtime and your position on the skill curve, so I would recommend this tutorial only if you feel you're intermediate to good at Sniper. Considering how this tutorial may seem very different to you compared to other TF2 tutorials and how I sound like Fernando Martinez from GTA Vice City on antidepressants, many of you will want to click off the video and go watch something else. Not to mention the horrible microphone quality and how you probably need to bass boost the video to hear me properly. The only thing I have to say to you is, please don't leave me alone. Let's start with movement. Movement is the most important part of any class, but not for the sniper. It still doesn't mean you don't want to take it as seriously if you want to be an epic gamer. To start off, you need to separate your movement keys from your mouse. What I mean by this is that you need to stop the habit of holding W and using the mouse to steer yourself. This kind of input independence helps you with focusing more on your aim, which I believe is objectively more important for a sniper in regards to gameplay. The other practical upside which you can benefit greatly from is being more prepared while going in a corner. This means that if there happens to be an enemy gamer behind that corner, you have enough time to react and do a quick scope. I would also advise against jumping like you're on bath salts, because if you happen to encounter an enemy and you need to do a split-second reaction, you won't be able to optimize your movement while you're in the air and you will miss your shot, making you look like a dumbass. Okay, now, the second part of the tutorial revolves around game sense. This includes on where you aim based on map knowledge and how to predict enemy movement, i.e. where they're coming from and where they're going. Every time you need to peek for a view of a large open area, you take a risk, as there might be a sniper waiting just for you. What you need to do is jump immediately for a split second, look for any enemy gamers, and if there are any, approach the area with greater caution and be ready to quickscope. The next step is to improve your map knowledge. What I mean by this is that you always need to know where the enemy spawn is, where enemies can come from and retreat. This can help you in anticipating an enemy that you know is going to respawn very soon, and the rest is predicting from which spawn he is going to come from. This is very important because Sniper is theoretically the best class in the game, and you are able to deal with a threat in seconds if he's on the other side of the map. You would want to have the advantage of knowing where the enemies are and where they're coming from. Things like making a small eye movement up top to see which enemies are respawning goes a long way to help yourself become better at predicting them. You can also push the tab button for a few seconds to see the scoreboard with one hand movement. This is epic. The most important advice I can give you is to always look diagonally between one sightline and another. One example is 2 Fort, in which I can look at my own battlements at the enemy one too. This helps you immensely in detecting enemies coming for you from your own spawn. Now for the third part, equipment. As I said previously, primary is this, secondary is that, melee is taught, you get the idea. I'm not gonna do that. What I'm going to do is give you a realistic perspective on what snipers' weapons do and who use them. So, let's get started with the primaries. The stock sniper rifle. This is the weapon that you should use, no questions about it. The only people that oppose this idea are the sniper mains, pleading complete allegiance to the Bazaar bargain and who play on Korean Sniper War servers 24/7. The one thing that stock has above the Bazaar bargain and wins it for me is the consistency. Playing with the Bazaar bargain, once you collect a few heads, you start playing like a bitch ass in order not to lose them. You don't have to do that with stock, you just go in, do the job, and then skadoodle the fuck out. Next up, the upper hand. This is a placebo replacement for the stock that makes you look like you sniff glue. People who unironically use this weapon probably have that CSGO star that every esports wannabe retard has in their name. When you see a player in the server using this weapon, please educate them how to be a human being and bully them mercilessly if they don't comply. Thank you. The next weapon on the list is the Bazaar Bargain. As I said previously, people who use this weapon never switch off. The only time you will see them with the stock sniper rifle is when the item servers are down or... I don't have a funny joke for this, sorry. Moving on, the Sydney Sleeper. The charismatic extra chromosome, as one former TF2 would say, this weapon is useful in very specific scenarios. For example, tilting sniper mains with body shots. It is extremely effective in that regard and I seldom use it for that purpose. I would definitely recommend you use it sometimes as getting headshots isn't always the role of the sniper and you can definitely use some spice in your gameplay, baby, just saying. Next up is the Hitman's Heatmaker. Great if you want to do less damage and fill up a meter that leaves you with a focus, which has more downsides than upsides in my opinion. The only time I would use this weapon is when I want to see people's heads popping off, otherwise I always steer clear of this rifle. Continuing the trend for bad rifles is the classic. Much like Bulgarian driving instructors, this piece of shit teaches you nothing about proper sniper gameplay, leaves you stranded and outclassed in every possible way, and is unbearable as fuck. I don't even enjoy using it as a haha funny meme stick because I want to gouge my fucking eyes out every time I exit the spawn with this thing. Why on earth would anyone use this still baffles me to this day. As for the final gunpowder based primary weapon, we have the Machina. I can tolerate the no scopes, but I don't think I can cope with the tracer rounds. This is such a disadvantage that I've only used it in my playtime around 8 years ago because I was younger and it looked cool. That being said, the double kills you can do with this weapon are in my opinion still worth it just for the cool factor. Now, for the last but definitely not least, the Huntsman, and for that matter the Fortified Compound. In my opinion the most fun and the most flashy of all primary weapons for the sniper. This weapon completely transforms the sniper to be almost unrecognizable in game mechanics. You have a shit ton more mobility and close range capability, but you sacrifice instant hitscan quickscopes and for that matter long range capabilities too. Although on paper this sounds very bad, in practice it isn't. The projectile hitbox for the arrows is very forgiving and you can pull off some insane kills with it. That being said, this weapon isn't brain dead to use. You need a solid grasp on game sense and prediction in order to be good with the Huntsman. Contrary to popular belief, spamming arrows isn't as effective as you might think, so when you equip that bow and arrow, don't expect to be instant Ted Kaczynski. Now for the secondaries. SMG is the best along with the Jarate, Razorback is dead along with the Cleaner's Carbine, Cozy Camper is good for unprim sniper, and the Danger Shield is great if there is an asshole pyro spamming the fucking Scorch Shot. As for the melees, just use stock. With the Shahansha, you always think about your health, with the Tribalman's Shiv you barely do anything, and the Bushwhacker without the Jarate is fucking useless. Nothing, and I repeat nothing, can match the consistency of stock. Now, if you've stayed for the whole video, I'd like to congratulate you on your patience. Consider subscribing and liking the video along with commenting on hot political topics, such as the relations between Belgium and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Thanks for watching this dumpster fire. I'm out.
وشاطئ المطبخ نظرت دجاجة كثيرة اللحم وريش المدندل